and welcome to another lesson. Today's our lesson is on Roman literary artists from ancient to the 16th century. Let's now survey them. First one on our list is Cicero. He was a philosopher, orator, a lawyer, politician, a consul, and a constitutionalist. And Cicero has traditionally been considered the master of Latin prose. Let us see some of his contributions. Orations, that is a book where he gives us tips about how to deliver a good, impressive speech. Then on moral ends, discusses some moral issues concerned with virtues, morality, etc. Then the nature of the gods, that is another philosophical discussion on skepticism, on stoicism, etc. And again, Tusculan disputations. This is also concerned with sort of popularizing Greek philosophy in Italy. The philosophy of Epicureanism, Stoicism, skepticism, etc. Okay. That's all about Horace. Now we come to another. That's about Cicero. Now we are coming to Horace. Okay, he was a Roman lyric poet during the rule or the reign of Emperor Augustus. Augustus's real name before he became emperor was, Octavius Caesar. Julius Caesar's nephew. Okay. Horace, and then Ovid and Virgil. These were the three most important writers during the Augustan era in Italy. We will have to come back to them when we discuss the age of Pope, the age of Alexander Pope in the early part of the 18th century, which is also known as Augustan age, or the age of reason, or the age of enlightenment, etc. So keep these three names in your mind. Okay. Now the most important work of Horace is Ars Poetica, the art of poetry. This is very important from the examination point of view. Please note down or underline. I have underlined that. Ars Poetica, the art of poetry, how to write good poetry. The next one on our list is Virgil. He was also, like Horace and Ovid, a poet of the Augustan era. Okay. His important works, the eclogues, they are also known as bucolic poetry or pastoral poetry. We talked about this, I think, in our previous lesson. Okay, this is a collection. The eclogues is a collection of 10 pastoral poems. Pastoral poems are poems concerned with rural life, commonplace life, common people, the shepherds and shepherdesses, etc. Okay, another work of Virgil is the Georgics. The subject of the poem is agriculture. It is about agriculture, and it is a plea, a request to restore the traditional forms of cultivating. Then another important work is Aeneid. Aeneid he deals with the life, the most important events in the life of Aeneas. Okay, so Aeneid is concerned with Aeneas, who was one of the survivors uh, from the Trojan side, and he and his followers, it is said, after a long journey, came to the modern Rome and settled down there, and his descendants, Aeneas's descendants, in fact, founded modern Rome, Italy. Okay. Uh, the other important writer is Ovid. His three major works: Ars Amatoria, the art of love, and Remedia Amoris, the cure for love, and Metamorphoses, transformations. They are not very important, but I have just mentioned them here. Next one, Quintilian. He was a great educator and rhetorician. And his most important book, I am going to give you. This is the one, Institutum Oratorium, the institution of, or the institute of oratory. That means in this work, he talks in detail about how to become a great orator, a great speaker. Okay. Now we are coming to another very important point from Italy, Dante Alighieri. You know, he was a very, very great poet of the late Middle Ages. Dante's celebrated work, all of us know, is the Divine Comedy. And here he describes his journey. Okay, this might have been a dream journey through hell, purgatory, and paradise. And he was guided during that journey by first by Virgil and then by Beatrice. We will see very soon who Beatrice was to Dante. Okay. This poem has 100 cantos. One year they asked what is meant by cantos. A canto is a section, that's all. And it has 100 sections, cantos, and around 14,000 lines. Okay. This work is written in a meter known as a verse form known as terza rima. You may wonder what it is. Some of you may know. If you don't know, don't worry. I have a separate lesson on meters. So at that time, I will talk to you about this in detail. Now, Dante's first collection of poems to his beloved Beatrice was published in his famous collection of poems known as Vita Nova. Vita Nova, which means new life. And he was only 30 when he wrote these poems, and it was written soon after the death of Beatrice, who died, I think, in her mid 20s. Okay. Now, who was Beatrice? Now, Beatrice was a young girl of I think 80 years probably when Dante first saw her. And at first sight, I can't say fell in love with her, but he had a spiritual kind of love or passion for her, and that continued till his death. And he has celebrated that love for her, spiritual love for her, in many of his poems. So, but he never proposed, and in later life, both got married to different persons. But Beatrice always remained central to his creative works, his poetical works. Okay. Now, Francesco Petrarch, you know him. He is very familiar with students of literature, just as Dante and Virgil are. He has many epithets like founder of humanism and the first modern man, or the father of sonnet, etc. So these are some of the most important things you must remember from the examination point of view. Okay. Then he was crowned. He was crowned by by the Senate of his time as poet laureate. As poet laureate. Sorry, poet laureate. Actually, its correct pronunciation is laureate. Poet laureate. Okay. And he was the first to be given that title. The poet laureate title was first given to Petrarch. Okay. He is best known for the lyric poetry, collection of poems. What is that? Have you ever heard? No? Canzonieri. 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 That is the pronunciation. And Petrarch is considered to be one of the greatest love poets of world literature. And his Canzonieri is very famous. Please note down. This will be very important from the examination point of view. And his Canzonieri is addressed to again an idealized woman, Laura. Okay, like Virgil had Beatrice. Here we don't know who Laura was. Some scholars say she was the wife of a noble at that time, but some say no, she is just an idealized woman, an ideal woman that Petrarch had in his mind. Like Shakespeare in his sonnets addresses many of his sonnets to a dark lady, and William Wordsworth in his many poems, Lucy poems, addresses his poems to Lucy. These may not have been real people, but idealized versions of certain women that they have always wanted women to be. Okay, and this collection of poems, it is said, really had an impact on the Renaissance. Okay, an impact on the Renaissance flowering of lyric poetry. So if you get time, you can read a few from this collection. Now we have Giovanni Boccaccio. I think this word is pronounced in that way. Giovanni Boccaccio. Some say Boccaccio. Giovanni Boccaccio. His best known work, please note down, is the Decameron. Means 10 days work. What is this? Very quickly I will tell you the content of the poem. You know, there was a Black Death, a plague in Europe in the year 1347. And during that plague, 10 young people, 7 women and 3 men left the city of Florence, and they stayed in a countryside, a rural region, for 14 days. Okay, and during their stay there, for the first 10 days, each one was supposed to narrate a tale. Okay, and one of them would, that particular day, act as the leader or pretend to be the king or queen and giving orders to others what they should do. But everyone was asked to narrate a tale. So, 10 tales a day. That way, 10 days, 10 multiplied by 10, 100. So, 100 tales. Okay? And these tales were narrated during the 10 days. And they went there for 14 days. 4 days were just left to them. They could do anything that they had wanted. That's all about the Decameron. And remember the name of the book. Okay. Now we have Ludovico Ariosto. Ludovico Ariosto. Have you heard his name? If you have not heard, please note down. His famous work is Orlando Furioso. Means Raging Roland. Orlando is the Italian name for the French name Roland. Now, who was this Roland? Roland was a military commander during the reign of Charlemagne. Some say Charlemagne. Actually, its pronunciation is Charlemagne, who established a kind of empire in Western Europe after the collapse of the Roman Empire. And Charlemagne lived in the 8th century. In the 8th century, and Roland was his military commander, and he was very courageous, very chivalric, and he had a lot of exploits during the battle. And of course, he died. Who? Roland in 778. But in this poem, Ludovico Ariosto celebrates the exploits of Roland. In Italian, he is known as Orlando. That is why Orlando Furioso. Raging Roland. Remember the name of the word. Okay. You can see on the screen whatever I have already told you. Roland or Orlando. He died in 778. He was a Frankish military commander under Charlemagne. Now, what is Frankish? Franks. You know, Charlemagne was a sort of king of Francia. Francia is a predecessor of modern Germany, Netherlands, and France. Those days, you know, it was only in modern times these regions became separate countries. Okay, so Frankish means a tribe, a sort of Germanic tribe. Franks were Germanic tribe, and they spread all over Western Europe. Okay. Next, I think we have come to the end. We always use this phrase: man proposes, but God disposes. Man proposes, but God disposes. This is a quote from the 15th century German cleric priest Thomas Kempis. Just remember, in case a question comes, because many of the familiar quotes and the sayings we take for granted without actually knowing whose creations these famous quotes are. Okay then, I think this has been a very, very short class. I would like to make my classes not a duration of more than 30 minutes, if possible. But if that happens, I will have to upload classes almost every day. Some classes may extend to say 30 to 35 minutes, depending upon the topic. Okay then, these I think 6 lessons will be a package. So we have discussed Greek mythology, gods and goddesses, heroes, and then the muses there. Then we have seen Greek philosophers, then Greek writers, now Roman writers. You will have a short test, and that will be, that will be for about 25 marks, 25 MCQ questions. Okay, study hard, and don't wait for a separate, time to study. Study as you are watching these video lessons. Take care and be happy and healthy till we meet for another